Well,
Yeah.
hello,
I was
everybody.
trying to do my best Mr. Bill impersonation
Yes,
right
am I
there.
supposed to have a lisp? Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Glad you could be here.
Yeah,
Nice to,
well,
nice to see ya.
welcome everyone to the Wednesday Night Live show, episode I think 85. I think it's 85.
You have to add one on top every
Yeah,
time. No, I don't
86.
know. I don't remember now. It's 80. It's mid 80s.
Mid 80s. Yeah, let's just say mid 80s. But before we jump into the hellos into the show, I want to take a moment of silence for the thousands of vapors which will soon not be able to choose flavors for their harm reduction in the city of Los Angeles. Let's a moment of silence, Tim. Bow your head. All right, there we go. That's
What the fuck is wrong with your state, John?
I don't know. We're going to talk about that, my state. Also, before we continue on, I want to thank Mr. Tim for doing a great job last week hosting and producing the show. Thank you, Mr. Tim. Hey, Tim, no, what are you doing? Happies? No,
It was all right. It was all right.
His eye.
You
You did a great job. See, even the dogs are excited. The dogs,
Yeah,
are
they're
even
so excited they left the room. That's how excited they were.
They're like our owner. Our owner did such a stand-up job. So they're see as soon as I say their owner, they get all excited. They're like they're happy for you, Tim. They're happy.
It was fun to kind of take the helm there. I was a little bit like a deer in headlights. I've never had to kind of negotiate the whole entire show, but
Yeah, you did great.
I did my best.
You did great. You did a perfect job, and I was glad that it went smoothly. It went smoothly. I was jumping in and out. It's funny, this. The closer I was to the hotel, the better my Wi-Fi worked, and then it's just weird. In San Francisco, you could take like one step, and it's like gone. Whatever signal you had just like vanishes. And it was just like one step in either direction. I was like, what the hell's going on over here? How does and I'm not shitting you. You would take one more step forward, and all of a sudden 5 bars. But then if I step back, boom, all bars gone. I'm like, is there a 1 foot by 1 foot?
Well, I've
spot?
been told that the relativity to bars does not necessarily have anything to do with general locale. So, like, even though you look at those Verizon or Sprint or T-Mobile maps or whatever, and they tell you live in a 5G area and your signal strength should be strong, while that statement is true, the fact that you may go from 5 to 2 bars is not whether or not you are walked into this weird one foot by 1 foot gray area where you lose your signal. It has everything to do with the signal itself and the data coming down to your phone. So cellular data is much like internet data with packets, right? So if you have packet loss or there's inconsistency in the network, it doesn't stay as consistent all the time. So because I have the same issue here, I'll be on the cell phone, sitting here, not moving, literally in the same spot, and the call strength will be fine, and then all of a sudden I drop their call. I have to call them back. I'm like, what the fuck happened? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know either. I didn't move. I didn't move. So I don't know what happened. So
yeah, it's weird. We're not sure what is happening with Paul, but Allison is having no power issues in her area, so she might not make the show tonight. She'll try to jump in if she can, but they're having some issues there with power outages all day. I think she said. I think since 2:00 in the afternoon her time. So
yeah, she said power's been out since 2.
Yeah, so maybe she will be able to make it. If not, no big deal, Allison. And Paul, I have no idea. Paul could be. It's the final weeks of summer there.
Well,
so
now that we found Tom, Paul has now taken Tom's spot in Morgan's basement. So
Morgan
that's the long and short of it right there. So Tom was free. Tom worked. The free Tom chance worked, and now we have to free Paul.
It's that Aussie thing, all these, if you notice here lately, all the male actors are from Australia. They're, so I could see Morgan just, falling in love with that Aussie face of his,
Could be. Maybe she just put a kangaroo in the basement and he's holed up in the pouch or something. He's holed up in the pouch. His name's not Paul anymore. It's Joey.
It's Paul that small that he would fit in a pouch.
It could be a really big fucking kangaroo. You never know.
I don't know how big he is, but that would be hilarious. There, yeah, that's anybody that's good at Photoshop. That would be great. Photoshop Paul inside the pouch of a kangaroo for us. That I will make sure it becomes a thumbnail. Isa, what is happening, buddy? We are going.
Isa, or is it Isa?
Isa. I like to say.
Oh, you said
Yeah,
Isa.
yeah,
Okay.
I like to mess with him. Tim, how is your week going? How is your week going?
Chaos, and just more chaos. So we came off of a short week last week. Obviously, everybody was on the short week, unless you work from home and it doesn't affect you one way or the other. And then right bang into this week. So the train just keeps rolling. So I just feel like I'm busy. I did have a good time on Sunday, though. I did get to go out. I spread my wings and got the hell out of the house and drove down to Sandy Springs, or drove over to Sandy Springs for a Departure show out on the lawn there. They have right now with Departure, a lot of their shows are these outdoor concert summer series things. So the shows are typically held by the city. The city organizes them, and then they usually have an amphitheater or some kind of a place where they can play, and then people bring coolers and lawn chairs and shit, and it's free for everybody to go.
You remember the affairs here? You remember the fairs out here in California? Did you attend any of them when you were living out here? I forget the one that they have in LA, because I forget what the name of that one is. I know they have a couple of them. We have the big state fair in Sacramento, but like we have.
I did go to the one at the horse track in the Del Dios County Fair, Del Dios County Fair, which was massive, and I got really lucky there because you still had to, if you paid the ticket to get into the fair, you got your ticket to go to the show for free.
Right. Yeah.
And I saw Peter Frampton there twice.
Nice.
Which I tell people all the time. He's an old geezer now. I don't even know if he's still playing. I think he finally retired.
Yeah.
But he was one of the better shows I've seen. I wasn't a massive Frampton fan growing up, but everybody knew the two big songs, or at least two of his big songs.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a fantastic show. And then I saw Grand Funk Railroad, which was actually a really good show. And Lit played one year, I think, or one day. We went for Lit.
That's what's cool about the state fairs. I mean, for us, our generation, because some of those old time bands that come back out, they're like, hell, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's do these fairs. And you get to see bands that haven't been in the limelight in a long time. Like I think we got 38 Special coming through here. Who else? God, there was a bunch of them.
They're all on tours right now.
They're all on tours
a lot of
right
the
now,
old
and
school
it's just
bands.
awesome. I'm just happy because I cannot go a whole summer without at least one concert. I didn't go to any last year. Everything was shut down. Santa Cruz is not doing any shows this year, so no bands on the boardwalk this year, which sucks. I mean, they're doing the movie night, so they're going to play movies out there on the beach on the weekends, but they're not going to do the concerts, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
That's messed up.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty much wide open anymore. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on right now. That's why summer is such a great time. But you're right, Curtis. Frampton is the shit. I didn't realize that 70-year-old dude could shred like that. Yeah, he's like all over the neck. So I was like, anyway, so if I'm just putting it out there, if he still ever comes back and plays anywhere in your area, buy a ticket or just go and see him. It's a great show. And he's very witty and funny, so he makes it entertaining. Stuff.
Yeah, REO Speedwagon is one of the other bands that's coming out here. I like it. I love seeing those old bands. I don't need to see Brett Michaels anymore. Once is enough, or twice. I should lie.
That's
twice.
A show for chicks anyway.
Yeah, it is but it's an opportunity to see women our age in leather again, Tim.
You don't want to see that, John. You don't want to see that. I'm just saying.
Well, house, my week's been pretty good. Trying to get the house ready to paint. So I've been power washing, getting rid of all the spider webs and cleaning my gutters. So, and of course, I choose the 1 week that it decides to be hot again. So it's just like right back up. I literally have to get everything done before noon. Otherwise, I can't stand outside. It's just gotten to that. It's just too hot.
Yep.
So it sucks, but I'm going to do my best to try to paint this house and get it over with and fix the backyard for the kids. I felt bad. I kind of let the backyard go, and now they're playing back there because the kitten had little cats. The cat had kittens, and they're back there, and I got spider webs all over the place. It's like I let everything go, and so I was like, okay, I don't want one of my grandkids getting bitten by a stupid black widow. So I spent all day yesterday, shot back, high speed, sucking every single spider web in the backyard, sprayed the whole thing out. And then today I had someone come and spray again because I was like, okay, that stuff they sell at Home Depot is not strong enough, man. I need the strong shit. Get the shot.
Yeah.
And he came and sprayed. So, Timmy, say hello to everybody out there.
Well, all righty then. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday Night Live show on this episode 89. I'm lying. I don't know. I think it's 85, but let's see who's in here. I did see a bunch of people chiming in. Curtis, good to see you. Luke, how are you, brother? Brother, how you, brother? That's my Hulk Hogan chant. Beast Gamer 69, what's up? What's up? What's up? Rog in the house. Shannon, how are you? Good to see you. Stu, Rep. Hold on, I know I saw. Oh, we already said hi to Luke. Okay, I don't know. For some reason, I thought Luke was two different people. And Issa, nice to see you on the show, Issa. Even though John confused me with your name. Though, hey, what's up, though? How you been, man? I know you were here last week. We kind of did the intros a little late, and then people kind of come in. Trust me, I see all you guys when you chime in, and I see you saying hello and stuff like that. So don't think that we try to intentionally miss anybody. It's just I get one shot at saying hello.
Yeah.
So if you see me raise my hand and I do a peace sign or I wave or something like that, that's typically because I'm waving at you as you come into the show. So that's your acknowledgement that I see you there.
We see everybody.
And I think that's it for right now. At least the people talking. We got nine watching. So that massive then the crowd goes wild.
You have a split personality there, Luke? Is that what you're saying? You have are you just multiple accounts? What are you doing?
And XTRM Brazen. He yo'd right there at the last minute. I was scrolling down and I happened to catch him in there. So.
Did you get the Beast? The Beast?
I did. I said Beast Gamer 69. Yes, right. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I apologize. I will.
We will get everybody. Well, what we wanted to talk a little bit about today is the LA flavor ban, and it kind of hits home, and it's 6.5 hours south of me, guys, but it's still they're pegging big cities off one by one, and I want to talk a little bit about it and what took place on this vote, and it just kind of. Let me just go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and read some of the highlights of it and go through it a little bit with Tim and I here. And the Los Angeles City Council on Wednesday passed an ordinance to ban the sales of candy-flavored nicotine and menthol cigarettes across the city. This vote went 12-0. And this is where I want to talk about this today. And the reason is we couldn't even sway one person. We couldn't even sway one person over to our side. And when I was reading part of the article, and I said, I'm going to read the LA Times, and then I did the, I think it's KXLA and a couple other things. And one of the things I came from that I had noticed in the article, Tim, was the lack of the word vaping. It's like they were kind of trying to hide that part of it in the fight and keeping it all about the menthol, which was great. I understand he wanted to push on banning menthols and cigarillos and this other stuff, but none of these articles or even the news article, the video article or whatever you want to call it, didn't even mention the word vaping whatsoever. And I found that funny that they kept that word out. And I think they did it for a smart reason. I mean, don't you think? I mean, they lost the right to try to ban it in the first place. last year. So trying to hide that word in these articles and keep it about the menthol cigarettes and the cigarillos and some of the other stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Does masking the word vaping
They hit it.
really? Well, they hit it, but I'm trying to understand the motivation for trying to hide it when you're specifically saying that you're banning candied flavored nicotine
Yeah.
somethings, right? What they said. What was the specific terminology?
Yeah, the whole terminology is, I'll read the quote from Lindsay, I don't even know how you say her last name, Ferrete, advocate director and campaign for tobacco-free kids. It's a simple formula, use flavors that appeal to kids to cover up the harsh flavors of traditional tobaccos. This strong hints of additives, nicotine, and hooked on new generation of tobacco users, and then just watch the profits roll in. And I mean, that was her quote. And it was basically everything. When I went through the article, it only talked about um, flavors, but it didn't mention the word vaping. It talked about minty menthols, peach gummies, candy flavors. They talked about the cigarillos. They talked about the menthol cigarettes, and that was about it through every
But why
single
would
article.
they specifically hide the term vaping? Is it
I don't
because
know. That's what
they
I
don't
was
want to
wondering.
misconstrue the conceptual idea of the verb? Meaning, vaping doesn't is not a noun. It's not an identifier. It's an action, right? So,
Yeah.
vaping can be multiple things, right? So, if they say vaping, maybe they're trying not to misconstrue. I got a thunderstorm rolling in, so if the dogs go nuts, I'm sorry. The dogs think that they can attack thunder, but they run and
Yeah.
hide when it's a firework.
Yeah.
So, my point is that people effectively vape vitamins, people vape
Right.
THC, people vape a lot of different things. So maybe they were trying to disassociate that term from the fact that they're not trying to get rid of. I'm not saying they would start widespread panic, but if they maybe used that, maybe some people would misunderstand that as, oh, they're going to take away my vitamin vape, oh, they're going to take away
Mhm.
my CBD vape, oh, they were just trying to hone in on the flavor element of it. And so I just don't understand what they were trying to succeed with by completely masking a particular term.
Yeah, I mean that's what surprised me, and I thought, well, at first when I read the LA Times article, I said, okay, why is they didn't mention vaping whatsoever? So I said, let me go check out some other articles at other newspapers, and then there was a couple video clips from it, and again, same thing. They didn't talk about it at all. But the sad part of this is, like I said, the sad part of it is that we couldn't get one single person out of 12. Out of 12 city council members, we couldn't get one person to sway our way. And I don't know if it would have made a difference if it would have got 11-1 or a 10-2 vote. But basically, to me, the message is just, it sends a clear message to the industry and the community, and it's basically to fuck off. We'll shut you down one city at a time, and that's what they're doing right now. They're shutting down one major city at a time. So
Yeah.
these all city or all state bans, what good are they if they don't get passed? They don't get passed. We're going to have cities like L.A., San Francisco, Oakland, Santa Barbara, all these major cities where there are a lot of vape shops that are going to
But
be
how
shut down.
difficult is it for someone to travel outside the confines of Los Angeles
Well,
and get their stuff elsewhere?
well, that's what they're doing. If you look at what they're doing in the Bay Area, is they've gotten smart. So they realized, okay, all people are doing is going into Oakland. So let's just shut it down in Oakland. And then all of a sudden, well, we don't have Oakland as an option. We'll start moving into the as the Redwood City, Burlingame, and that area, and they just been shutting them down. Redwood City shut theirs down. Burlingame shut theirs down. So now, let's be honest, a 15-mile commute in San Francisco is anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour.
Hmm.
So it's not like our 15 minutes where I get in my car, drive 15 minutes away, and no big deal.
All right.
But
So
in the Bay Area,
can you define the flavor ban? Is it that they're not allowed to sell it within
in the city confines, yeah.
but it can be shipped in?
Yeah, I don't. They haven't put out the whole thing. I went looking for it the way it was written. I couldn't find it. So if you can find it, let me know and send me the link. But I couldn't find the breakdown of the bill that they are trying to get passed over there in LA. Exactly how it's all written out. So yeah, I don't know how that's all going to work.
Because
You
it
know,
seemed to me that that was sort of like the catch-22 in a lot of particular
right?
cases, is that while it's not sold within the city limits,
Yeah.
you can ship it in, so you can still get it if you can buy it online. And I think their hope was is that there would be too much difficulty with people getting things shipped, even though it is difficult right now.
Right. It's
I
not
like.
possession.
Well,
It's
I
not
wanted to
possession.
read that comment, John.
Yeah.
Hold on one
Oh, yeah.
second.
Go ahead. Go. I'll go
So
back
the
to
reason
it.
why I put this up because I think it's Professor or Prof or Professor Milky.
Milky.
It's a welcome to the show, by the way.
Yeah.
And I did see you, Stu Rep, and Nick Orlando. I got you all. I see you. Um, it's appeal to spite. By redefining vaping as tobacco product, they have a simpler argument, less confusion, not too many details asked, right? Because if you just sort of meld it into one thing and just call it a tobacco product, then it's demonized even further, right? Because tobacco is the evil thing. I'm gonna have to shut these dogs up in a minute because
Yeah.
every time a thunderclap happens, they ignite. But that said, no, I think that this makes total sense to me.
Yeah. No, that was their whole goal back in 2012, and they knew this day was coming, and this was the only way they could get away with it is having it be associated with a tobacco product, and we all knew that was coming. We thought we were taking the less of the evils when in 2012 by going ahead and letting them do that, and now it's kind of coming back and biting us in the ass. Uh,
But
but
how does this impact the statewide thing that's going to be on the ballot?
Well, that's a whole different thing. So if that were to pass and we vote that a complete favor ban, we would be in the same situation as New York. And now how that one is written, I don't know, because there was some talks about taxing it as it was coming in. So they were going to find a way that it was still going to come into the state of California, but the state of California was still going to be able to profit from it. So I don't know what because that's going to change. That's all they're going to try to come up with a plan that's going to pass. So they're rewriting it, doing whatever they're doing right now to try to figure out how to write this out so they still profit and it still can come into the state like it, through well through shipping or whatever, but and still be able to tax it as a tobacco product, because let's be honest, that's why there's this big fight in rewriting the master settlement agreement to add e-cigarettes to that agreement, so this way they can continue to make money no matter what. Of course, let me get this. The new restrictions slated to go into effect in January ahead of Wednesday's vote. Representatives of the National Association of Tobacco Outlets thanked the council to giving them the retail companies out there time to get rid of their products that but before January. I'm thinking to myself, why are you fucking even thanking them? Find a way to, I know I'm kind of crazy and I'm sue these son of a bitches, because I mean this is bullshit. I mean I know there's got to be something out there that can be done. These are jobs, these is livelihood, this is income that's coming into the state. These are people that are paying taxes. They're not breaking any laws. They're making sure that kids are in their shops. They're not under 21 to buy product. There's got to be something you can do. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, and I know I get excited and I want somebody to figure something out, and I get it. It's tough, but to me, that statement of them thanking, the Association of Tobacco Outlets, thanking the council for giving retailers time to get rid of their product. That kind of, when I read that, all I kept thinking, it was like, fuck you. Get uproar, get pissed, get out there, go do something. This is, don't thank them. The new rule exempts the sales of, guess what, Tim?
Cigars,
No, cigars are in there. Cigars are in
weed.
there. No, it's the hookah, baby. The hookah
Well, I
people.
don't know. The hookah always seems to get a pass with shisha and stuff like
Yep,
that.
the shisha
Um,
tobacco gets a pass because guess what they did, Tim? They protested. They went out to City Hall. They stood out
yeah,
there
well,
with their signs.
I think though in that particular case, I mean, you've got a huge demographical contingent of people from the culture that tends to use hookah, as well as I mean, I don't know if hookah bars are still a thing anymore. I remember when they were all
They're
super
big.
popular.
They're big. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Here, I don't hear people talk about it too much, but I think, unfortunately, I think in that particular case, you have a specific demographic of people who engage in that, and I think that those numbers are a little bit more conglomerated than,
Yeah.
say, vapors in general.
Well, I mean, I did my best to find a picture of these people that were pro. I couldn't find one, so I don't know if they had 5 people out there, 10 people out there, 100 people out there. I have no idea how many people were out there protesting to keep their hookah. And let me see what else it said there. Yeah, so they argued that it needs to be protected because it's a tradition for Arabs, Americans, and other communities in Los Angeles. I guess protecting the Arab community from cancer doesn't matter as much as protecting the black community from menthol cigarettes.
I think you would just have a whole other. You'd have a whole other massive issue on your hands with a cultural, religious component. Than you would, say, people who, to the average eyeball, see somebody vaping. They don't see us as some particular sect or anything like that. They're like, we're just the blueberry donut flat bill kids, who are a menace to society and stuff like that. That we're just nicotine addicts, and that we look more, we're painted more in the eyes of a drug addict than something that's
I like Nick.
tobacco harm reduction.
These are electronic hookahs, baby. Yes, I'm just going to call this an electronic hookah device. No more vape device. It is a hookah device, Tim. That's what I'm going to call it. And I mean, I don't even know what that product is. I've only done it like 3 or 4 times, but each time that I saw it being done, I got grossed out by it because it's a nasty, sticky, gross fucking thing that they're putting up there and they're burning it. And I'm thinking to myself, that is freaking disgusting. It looks nasty. And they're either shoving an apple in there, honing out an apple and putting that stuff inside of an apple. And I'm just like, what is this nonsense? But yeah, they get the pass. So they did not mention the hookah in the argument or in the article, other than that it was going to be exempt and it's going to get a pass. That made me laugh. I have the article to the LA Times. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this in there. You guys can go ahead and read that article. And again, I don't know exactly. Is that going to fit in there? Yeah, it fits in there. I don't know exactly what the maybe Nick, but exactly how that new regulation is written out. So I don't know. I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if it's something that's public yet or not, but I know it still needs to be passed by the mayor. So which from what I understand, it's going to get signed. So
do we know if this particular ordinance was bipartisan support, or do we? I don't even know what makes up the contingent of the LA County, LA City.
Yeah, it's a pretty big area. So it's about 3.5 million people. So it's
I mean, when I say bipartisan support, I mean the 12 people that said yes to this ordinance. Are they all one party or another, or are they mixed bunch?
They're a pretty good, well mixed group of people there. I can pull that list of because I had that written down on my notes. Some of the names on there, and most of them are Democrats. So
and so they're going to get undying support from the people that well, unless you're a Democrat and you vape. But let's not make this about Republicans or Democrats. This still goes back to the old ideology, is that then when these people's terms come up and they're up for vote, and you disagree with the ordinances that they're passing, get them out of there, vote them out of there. I mean, they don't stand up for your best interest. They're standing up for the better interest of their own agendas.
Yeah, no, like I said, nowhere in the article the word vaping comes up, or talks about the thousands of users in LA that are using vaping to quit smoking. Nor did it mention vape shops or the economic impact on the city closing these shops and losing jobs. It didn't talk about any of that stuff, or the fact that there's a law called T21 that prevents children from purchasing tobacco products, which we know let's be honest, it's not been enforced whatsoever. So, I mean, none of that stuff ever comes up in these articles, and it's just, to me, I want people to realize this is a flavor. They're deciding that if we're too old to enjoy a flavor any longer, and that only children love flavors, and it just makes me laugh, because everything that I look around myself, everything has a flavor for a reason. There's a reason why I buy Mountain Dew. I like that flavor. There's a reason why I like apricots. I like that flavor. There's a reason why I buy cherry Coke, because I like that flavor. And I want people to realize that are outside. That's why this is on my regular page today, because I'm hoping some other people outside of our circles sees the show and sees what's going on, and understands that this is a harm reduction. This is working for millions of people. And I'm going to do the breakdown here, and I wanted to talk about just a couple other things here. Oh, hold on. I'm going to put this link in here, and let's see here. That was the article link I put in there. And this link here that I'm going to put in there also is this is going to show you the breakdown of the tobacco tax in California. So this is exactly the MSA money that's coming into California. So you guys can share these. This is just California, but I think that link will take you to other pages that are on there. But I'm going to break it down here, and I wanted to talk about in 2001, the state of California got $5 billion. And this is supposed to be about our health, right? It's supposed to be about our health, and it's supposed to be about, saving the children from nicotine. And I want everyone to understand that it isn't about just the children. It is about money, and it's about the kind of money that's coming into California every single year, just from big tobacco on this master settlement agreement. And then I'm going to show you how much money is coming into the state of California just on per pack on the sales tax. So 2001, $5 billion, 2002 to 2003, $6.5 billion, 2004 to 2007, $8 billion, $8 billion, guys, in 1 year, $8 billion. 2008. I don't know why I'm going to have to look this up, but 2008 to 2017, it says it was 8.139 billion. Plus, I don't know what this is. Anybody knows out there? Maybe Nick knows what it is, but it says plus 861 million to strategic funding. I don't know what the hell that is. So if you know what that is, let me know, Nick, because I have no idea what that means. And then in 2018 alone, the state of California got $9 billion from tobacco, $9 billion. And that's just the money that's coming from MSA. And they get $2.87 a tax on every pack of cigarettes in the state of California, which is kind of low. After I looked it up, Connecticut is $4.35. New York is $4.35. So I was kind of surprised to see, maybe they're like, hey, well, we got 9 billion last year. Let's just keep the sales tax at 287 a pack, because we get enough money from the MSA. So I just want people to see that the kind of money that these states are generating from cigarette sales, and why it's so important to get rid of vaping. And that is the main goal to a lot of these groups are trying to keep that money flowing in to pay for other programs that they already, or pay back the loans that they took out on many years ago. And it's just ridiculous. Tim, did I put oh, go ahead. I'll put the sales tag. Actually, this page here, I copy and paste it. You can actually, on this page, you can put whatever state you're in, and it'll show you, it should show you the, let me make sure I got that right there, Tim. Copy.
I'm just trying to understand where they're. I mean, they don't seem to have a general care or concern for the fallout from things like this. They think they paint it as though they're doing something brilliant for the state or the city or whatever.
Yeah.
When they talk about a menthol ban or a flavor ban and stuff like that. I mean, the flavor thing is easy to kind of for them to kind of scapegoat as being an attractant for kids. But we talked about the shisha being a cultural issue in general or a religious issue in that regard. Why don't they identify with the fact that that a menthol ban is sort of a demographical issue as well? I mean, because the bulk of menthol smokers are typically people in lower income neighborhoods. I mean, trust me, LA is not fucking the most beautiful place you've ever seen on the planet. I mean, if you've never been and you see it just in pictures or in the movies, Hollywood Boulevard stinks. I mean, it smells like a sewer. There's homeless people everywhere, all up and down Hollywood Boulevard. If you are a smoker, you might as well bring like 3 packs with you as you walk down Hollywood Boulevard, because every 20 steps, someone's going to want to bum a cigarette off of you. Yeah. And you're probably inclined to say no, just knowing what you pay for a pack of cigarettes anymore. There's beggars everywhere, and I'm not trying to say LA is a bad place to go visit, but I am making the point that it's not every area is some big upper middle to higher class neighborhood. It's a lot of lower income people who are struggling and more than likely have some mental health issues going on, and they tend to gravitate towards things like that. And now you're going to remove that under the guise of public health or whatever fucking lie they want to tell this time. Yeah. But I would think that you would have a big issue on your hands. There he is.
There he is.
The guy with the alligator in his living room.
Yeah, I tried to find the I don't know if it's on this page, but the total profit, they cut it off. I think they don't show it to you what California makes. And it shows you what they make per pack, but it doesn't show you the bottom line of how much that brought in per year tax wise. They cut it off, so I don't know where it looks like it's this next column right here, and they're kind of hiding it. So I can't go over, can't go across. So I'm sure it's a huge number, Nick. Wouldn't you say?
I would say, where are you? Which page?
This is the tax per pack of cigarette by each state. So and I was trying to show that what MSA brings in per state, and then exactly how much additional money is coming in per pack on the sales tax of each individual state. And I was trying to find the actual bottom line total dollars per year that comes in through a tax on a pack of cigarettes. But if California is getting $9 billion from MSA money, that tax at $2.87, that's got to be a lot of packs of cigarettes, man.
Pretty stout. Yeah. I was going to say you might be able to find that breakdown at THR 101.
Oh, okay.
Look at my state.
California.
My 37 cents a pack. Smoke them if you got them in Georgia.
Smoke them if you got them. Oh, Georgia, I see that.
37 cents a pack. I looked up and Alabama was 67 cents a pack. And then I'm like, man, that's pretty low. Like Alabama, they just let them smoke them all up. And then you get down to Georgia, I'm like, holy shit, we don't tax for shit for cigarettes here.
Georgia's giving you the 37 cents to smoke.
Yeah, here, we'll pay you to smoke. Go ahead.
Look at the District of Columbia. I think that's got to be the highest at $5.01 per pack. So for every pack,
but that doesn't deter anybody, though. That's the whole thing. And this is case in point. Even when you look at a country like Australia, when I went there, granted there is a currency conversion. I mean, people were paying upwards of anywhere between $14 and $18 a pack of cigarettes in Australia, and people are just throwing it down. Like I need my cigarettes. You know what I mean? Now they'd be a little reluctant to bum them out, but still, I mean, this I think they know that these deterrents aren't really deterrents. They can just keep raising it, and as long as someone's addicted to that, they're going to continue to figure out what it's going to take so that they can continue to get their cigarettes. My biggest problem with the LA flavor ban and the menthol ban is that these people can't be fucking total nimrods, that they can't see a vibrant black market start to crop up really fucking fast.
Oh yeah.
So whether it's e-liquid or whether it turns into menthol cigarettes, now we're gonna see all these stupid news reports in LA County of people getting tased or choked out because they were standing on a street corner selling menthol cigarettes for $3.50 each or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people are stupid enough to think that it's truly only about the kids and are that there's this push to try to get rid of vaping. I mean, to me, I mean, people have to realize there's so much more involved. Everybody has a little bit of a conspiracy nut in them. Well, I'm one. Everybody has a little bit. I find it hard to believe that many people out there believe that the government really cares that much about the kids and flavors. To think
never cared any other time before. Never cared that cigarettes were available. Never cared that alcohol was still attainable. Never. You don't hear anybody talking about edibles in the THC market that look like gummy bears or Rice Krispie treats or things of that nature. You never hear any discussion about how that might attract kids or the exposure that those kids have in the home environment. And we all know that kids are experimental anyway. So if they want to try something that's taboo, they're going to try to find a way to get their hands on it. So I think there's an argument to be made for the fact that absolutely no one here advocates for kids vaping or wanting them to vape.
Right.
And period. Okay, that's across the board.
Yeah.
But to sit there and think that they're not going to still get it if you take it away and make it vanish from the street, like I can't find it. Oh, well then vaping's not appealing to me anymore. I'll give up on it. Hell no, their boy is going to have some pods in his friggin' knapsack at school, and he's going to be selling them for $5 a pop. You watch.
So, John, I sent you on one of your previous broadcasts. I sent you. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So on one of your previous shows, I sent you our list of initiatives that we submitted based on everybody saying it was the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you still have that?
I got it right here. Yes, from Vaping 360.
This is just the one I sent you that Florida put up.
Okay. I got FDA delivers a final report card. No, that's not it.
When we're talking about youth and access and stuff,
right.
We put together those 22 initiatives, and it goes directly to what Tim's saying, that it's really not about the kids, because they turned every one of them down.
Yeah,
and they were pretty solid. I mean, it went down to straw sales, to possession by youth losing parking spaces and being removed from scholastic activities over and above their regular school, losing parking spaces. And then the straw man sales obviously increasing to a second-degree misdemeanor, and a retailer that sold 3 strikes you're out after fine. Third strike, the larger fine, you lose your license for 30 days, and you get a sign put up on the outside of your retail establishment, your brick and mortar, that says, "Attention parents, this retailer has been known to sell and market to juveniles." They turned everything down. So if it were truly about the kids, we gave them the ammo to take care of it.
Yeah.
And they turned it down and snubbed their nose, moved through, and nothing happened. But we got tired of it finally and said, what if it's about the kids? Let's make it about the kids. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned. They just kind of turned away and said, no, we're good.
Yeah.
So it's not about the kids.
No, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, where are the statistics, where are the numbers that show T21 being enforced? Where are those numbers? I mean, that's something that each city and state should be proud of. If that number is that high and they're doing their job, they should be wanting to share those numbers. So obviously we know that they're not enforcing this T21. They're not doing anything, not like they did in the 80s and in early 90s.
And it always comes back to funding, right? Oh, funding. We can't fund the enforcement. Well, I'll tell you what. Have every vape shop in our state pay $500. Tobacco licenses are $50. We'll pay $500. Every vape shop in the state to be able to sell these products and fund your program.
Right.
We as vape shop owners are wanting you to do this.
Right.
And that's at $1,200 a clip. So you're talking, what, $2 million?
Yep.
1.2 to fund a program to go out and enforce this.
Yep.
Go out and do it. I mean, we have the solutions. Tell us what you want. You can't. You don't got funding? Great. We'll get you funding through licensing. Let's go.
Because I'll be honest, these quick stops and these C stores, they don't care. They obviously never have cared. I have been in many shops where I have seen it go down, and I would just look at the guy at the cash register. I said, "Dude, is your license for this shop and your personal license not that much important to you to make sure?" Who is this? Who is this?
And they laugh at you. Holy crap! Who is that guy?
Who is that guy? Hold on. Who's this Sicilian guy over here?
Damn!
What's going on, my brothers?
Hey, what's
happening,
on?
dude? Where you been?
Recovering.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Just had another surgery a couple of weeks ago, but
well, you looking good, bro.
Yeah, he's fit. He looks fit.
Down 50 pounds.
Holy shit.
Actually quit vaping.
No, that's good. I'm glad. I've been trying to. I have another person that has quit, has done the whole process, and I would love to get him on the show just to break it down, to show people that there is a way to quit. It's designed for you to quit if you really want to quit and step away from it. So I'm trying to talk him in. He's a little camera shy. So I still told him, I said, it would be great for you to come on, talk about your process, how you went through it, why you chose to completely stop altogether, and what are the benefits? Do you feel better? What's different? Are you because as smokers, we got that. I don't know. Do you feel like we're like this group that's got this edge that we're just, that we could step over at any time and kind of lose it? You know what I'm talking
Let me
about?
tell you, you still have that edge even after you quit vaping. I've been off of vaping for about a year now.
Really? Has it been that long?
Well, I've been off of nicotine for over a year, vaping almost a year.
Nice.
I miss it every day, and I have reminders. I still have my mods. I still have my RDAs. I still have the juice everywhere, But because I want to push forward in my fitness, push forward in my recovery, I need to basically remove all vices. I haven't even been I think I drank maybe 3 times since my first surgery to the next one. It's possible. And I was talking to someone today on a different social media platform. And it's true. The whole point of vaping is to quit smoking combustible tobacco and then make that transition from vaping to nothing, if that's what you want to do. Granted, this was not by my wanting to stop nicotine. I was forced to because of my surgery. But afterwards, I was able to battle that. That was the hardest, was using 0 milligram when I wanted nicotine. And then I was just like, what's the point of me even doing this anymore? I'm not getting my nicotine from it. We can go over the edge any second, every day. And I want nicotine, for my mental issues, for my stress. But it is better to just not have anything holding you down. And I was watching, you guys earlier. What we saw in New York, right, when it came to the shisha and it came to the hookah, it's a very small group that go and speak at these hearings. But what they do behind the scenes is they're working with the lobbyists, and they're pulling the religious clause. They're pulling the cultural clause. They're pulling the racism clause. If you ban this, that is racist.
Racism. Yeah.
And especially in very liberal states, they're not going to let that fly. And because shisha users are such small percentage, they don't look at them as a threat. I mean,
right. The numbers aren't there. Find it. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
And it's
And
not
they're not out in public throwing hookah on the street corner.
Yeah. Carrying the hookah with you. Walking
right.
down the street.
I've done it. I had a mini hookah that was this big. I would walk around with a piece of coal on top and everything, just puffing away like a pipe.
Yeah, but they don't see it to the level they see vapor, right? And now,
Right.
it's been bastardized by the youth and all that. But
Yeah. I mean,
I think,
never
the cultural piece is definitely a definite strategy that they have, and they got that under their belt, man, because they'll win it every time. And now it's not just certain states; it's the entire country that's walking on eggshells, man.
Yeah, maybe
When
I
you
should
bring
write
up
a letter
culture
to the
and
Pope,
religion.
Nick.
So
Maybe I should write a letter to the Pope and add
this is
vaping
something-
to add vaping to Catholics.
No,
Somehow.
No.
No, don't do that. Don't do
no,
that.
actually, and I'll tell you why. So I'm dealing with other situations right now. Well, not dealing with. I'm correcting misinformation of other situations and other avenues. You remember when everyone was talking about let's make vaping a religion to avoid the regulations and we can skirt by? And we all laughed and said this was the stupidest idea ever.
Yeah.
So the problem with you doing that is they're not going to allow it, for one, because then it opens up every loophole in the world for every other thing, and they're just not going to do that. It's not going to happen. We're supposed to be a separation of church and state, yet it gets blended way too much as it is. So making vaping as part of a religion, or making, the same art, then the argument would be, what about for Rastafarians being able to legally consume cannabis as part of their religion?
Yeah.
That doesn't fly. You can't do that. Vaping is... We lost that war.
Yeah, we lost that in 2012. So
I'll be honest. We lost the public opinion on vaping, and the reason why we lost that was because of ourselves.
Yeah,
we were Icarus. We flew too close to the sun. We got cocky. We decided to put companies on pedestals that could not give a crap less about the industry besides making money. We chose to ostracize and alienate the companies that actually cared and were doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And then when we tried to make a quick bailout of that, it was met with resistance because the vaping community, and I cringe at that word, but the vaping community decided to say, fuck you, we're going to do what we want.
Yeah.
You can't tell us who to support. You can't tell us what to do. And these are the same people that couldn't be fucking bothered to pick up a phone and know their representatives.
Yep.
We lost the political battle. We lost the battle of public opinion. We are holding on by a thread. We are looking at now because of, and people can blame Biden all they want. It's not fucking Biden. People who blame Biden for this might as well blame Biden for fucking why there's increased traffic on the fucking LIE and BQE in New York.
Why? No, I'm kidding.
Why? Because people are fucking stupid and
No,
don't know how to
kidding.
drive.
I know.
The loophole that everyone was going through.
Yeah,
for the
we
last
were a
year or so.
loophole industry for a long time. A loophole industry.
All it was it gives you a little bit of time to sell your shit. Cash out, capitalize, and move on to the next industry. And we saw the giants do it. We saw the fly-by-night companies do it, and we allowed them to do it. We supported them doing it. Shops only wanted to carry their stuff.
Yep.
Because of hype, because of the weakness that is society and the community.
Yeah.
And those shops that made the pivot are still getting support, even though they're in alternative industries in most cases.
Yeah.
It needed to happen. I remember I remember a while ago, Dimmy was talking about, you know, his views on shops that sold CBD and stuff like that, you know. Well, guess what? Fucking push comes to shove, that's all you have left is
Yeah.
you have to convert into hybrid. Otherwise, you're gone.
Yeah.
Now, you can make the choice of not converting and just close shop and do whatever you have to do, or you hold on to what you can, sell what you can. The worst thing that I think happened in the last couple of years were the disposables. 100%. Now we have disposables with 10 milliliters of e-liquid attached to them, rechargeable, and these are what the kids are using. And I say kids by literally meaning kids, by the teenagers, by not only just the under 21, under 18-year-olds. Where are they getting them? They are getting them from smoke shops that don't ID. They are getting them from online sites that don't ID. They are getting them from Snapchat. They are getting them from TikTok.
Yeah.
Right now, TikTok is a sewage
Yeah.
of misinformation vape-wise, turning everything into jokes. I mean, they're still doing the challenges of their stuffing their vapes in cups of water. Batteries inside fucking cups of water, and no one sees a problem with this.
Yeah.
You try to point out the misinformation, and you get. We lost. We lost the court of public.
But do you think with the disposable and kids, this is my theory, because honestly, there's no numbers out there that I can validate this, but are they really using the tobacco end of it with these disposables, or are they using the THC part of it? Because that's, I believe, yes, they are vaping, okay,
No,
because that's the word that is associated to it.
Nicotine.
But I'm wondering how many are truly using a flavored tobacco nicotine, a vape juice that we use every day, or are they actually using that device for THC and other stuff? Because that's what I believe. That's why I don't see. I believe that's why we don't see that number. I want to know, what are these kids are getting busted with? Are these kids getting busted with? I don't know. Fuck,
50
I
milligrams.
They're getting busted with the disposable vapes.
I don't want to name a name out.
Nicotine, the salt nicotine, giant fucking
Yeah.
cigar.
They're not running around with a bottle this big. That's what I'm saying. And I'm willing to bet that a majority of the kids that are getting busted with disposables are getting busted with disposables with THC.
It's not the THC. I'll be honest. It's not the THC.
You think it's more tobacco?
It is the nicotine.
Is the nicotine. Okay.
They get the buzz.
They use carts if they want. If they want to use THC, they'll use carts.
Yeah.
They're not disposables. I know some companies are working on disposable carts.
Yeah.
But no, these are disposable nicotine products. These are I don't even know. I've been out for so long. I don't even know what companies are making fucking, disposables, but like they literally look like Sharpies. They're filled with e-liquid.
Go to any vape site and they got 3 or 4 pages full of like all these companies I've never heard of that are making disposables that are,
and these are the companies that are illegal already. These are the products that are illegal already. Bigger, John, bigger than that.
No, these are.
This is a pen.
No, these are.
No, they're bigger than that, though. No, the ones that are for sale, they're like as fat as a big old Cuban cigar.
Yeah. You're talking about the one I just bought the other day because I didn't want to get in trouble in San Francisco.
Some of them look like, some of them actually are like square, almost like a.
Some of them look like billet boxes. Almost.
They're huge. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what's being used.
Yeah, I bought this in San Francisco because I didn't want it. I bought it before I got into San Francisco because I didn't want to carry this around and trying to put this in my pocket the whole time I was there. So,
did you get a buzz on it?
Here's the thing.
Huh?
Here's the thing.
Make your eyes roll?
No, it was all right. It was a strawberry mango. I mean, I didn't get it. I hit it once and then I didn't touch it again for good 5, 6, maybe 10 minutes sometimes. So. But it's 50 milligrams, so.
Oh, that's a low. Usually the ones that are being sold are 60.
Yeah.
I've seen 70 milligrams.
This is Flumes. Yeah, I think it was $15. And I said, okay.
60 and 70 milligrams?
I've seen them 60, 70 milligrams.
Yeah, they're up there. I've seen some too at some of the shops listed as 60.
It's ridiculous.
And now what we're seeing is there's an influx of caffeine bars being sold.
Caffeine. But see, nobody cares about that, though. I mean, it's okay.
now.
Like I said,
For
yeah,
now.
like I said, it's going to change. But it's like I said, when I go pick up my grandson at school, he is right next to a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Our school stop at 5th, and then there's another school that has 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, or 6th, 7th, and 8th together. And there is an AM PM there, and I am standing in line. I like to stop and get him something before I pick him up. You know, every time I go into that AM PM, at least the 7th and 8th graders get out before them. They're all in line. You know what they're all holding in their hands? 2 or 3 of these. 2 or 3 of these Red Bulls they're holding in their hands, or Rockstar, or another energy drink. Some of them I see holding Starbucks espresso shots, and I'm thinking to myself, they're what's 7th grade? How old are you in 7th grade?
12.
12, 13 years old, holding 2 fucking Red Bulls. You
should see them in Dunkin' Donuts.
But nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. That's okay that these kids go around. You know, I say that this next generation that's growing up on Red Bull and energy,
they gotta get
we're gonna have
energized
so
for
many heart
gaming.
disease. What's
They
that,
got to go
Nick?
play games after school. They got to get energized.
I know, but I got this feeling in 20, 25 years, there's going to be so many people with heart issues because of energy drinks, dude.
Good. I hope so, because I hope these people don't live long enough to fucking reproduce.
Collect Social Security.
Oh no, Social Security's gonna be gone. Fucking my generation's not even getting Social Security. Are you kidding me? That shit's gonna be gone.
I read somewhere in a vape group the other day, somebody said they went on vacation to a beach somewhere, and they said they walked out on the beach and they said they were just blown away by the number of kids they saw, like less than 18, hanging out on the beach, all with disposables in their hands. And being a vapor, asked them, like, why are you guys doing this stuff? Because none of them were probably smokers that had transitioned, but they said it was because of the flavors. They said the reason why they like them is because of flavors. That was from the horses, man. From the horses' mouth.
So what's happening is
I'm just saying that was just the truth of what they said. It was shocking to me.
Absolutely. We're seeing an evolutionary shift. We're seeing the exact thing that we've been trying to argue against come around and bite us on the ass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if the guy upstairs didn't want us to taste shit, he wouldn't have gave us fucking taste buds, right? Everything would taste the same, right? Everything would have the same flavor.
Use that argument. No, you can't use that argument nowadays.
I know, but it's like me going into a restaurant and saying, I want a plain fucking steak. Don't put any seasoning on it. Just, throw it on there for 2 minutes aside and give me this raw piece of meat with no salt, no pepper, no flavor whatsoever. And while you're at it, just give me the mousse part, no chocolate. Give me a friggin' break. I mean, ridiculous.
And think about it this way. We mentioned the you guys were mentioning before about the menthol ban, right? Look at Massachusetts that has menthol ban. They tried doing a menthol ban in New York, and that was almost went through. Because the thing is, and it's very difficult to call it out as racist because, well, it is, though. Their whole concept is, basically we're trying to protect minorities, especially those of LGBTQ, because they are more susceptible to menthol, which is a very racist statement in on itself. But again, what we're seeing is government protecting people as an excuse. And if we continue to fall for this narrative, as we have done so, we've always been attacking the wrong narrative. We've always been, attacking the, oh, look at me, I'm an adult, I'm using it. They don't give a fuck about that. Same thing with the gun argument. Fucking look at me, I'm a responsible gun owner. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't care if you're responsible.
They don't care. You could be the most responsible. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
because they don't focus on the responsible people. They focus on the ones that cause the problems.
Yep.
Don't let any disaster go unusable in a fucking political campaign.
Yeah.
This is something that we are seeing that's not just...
We're all just going to move to Florida. Live on the same street with Nick and Phil Pizarro and Dimitri. We're just going to all live on that street.
You better get your golf carts.
Yeah, I
Nick,
tell you.
how safe is vaping in Florida right now, you think?
If I had to say 1 to 10, I'd say 9.
That's awesome.
On a state level, though, right?
State level, yeah, obviously. I mean, our governor, took it upon himself to listen to us and do research, right? Based on that veto letter, we know what he said, what he did. It's really hard for these legislators to push anything through on him because he basically said, look, if you're going to come after it, I'm going to keep vetoing it and you're going to piss me off, right? Unless it becomes something that's like real tangible. The same song is not going to work over and over. And that bill that he vetoed was unanimous, both House and Senate, and which was unbelievable. And you were involved in that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he vetoed the darn thing, right? So these guys are a little gun shy. So what's happening now, we see these freshman legislators coming in who use vapor products and their staffers use vapor products. So we're flushing out the old school mentality. The newer group is coming in and they're familiar with the product. So they're not sold on the fact that we want to take adult freedoms away because we use this product and my staffers use this product. We're going to let it ride because we've got so many other things to deal with, Disneyland and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
Disneyland
going on right
It's throwing Mickey in there.
It's smart because we're fortunate. It's not smart. It's fortunate, right? It was smart on the governor's part to look into it and really listen to some of the chambers of commerce that we were involved in and listen to some of the PR stuff and take it upon himself and have his staffers look at it. He took a very long time to veto that. I think it was 4 months. He had it in his pocket. But as that's going on, we're churning. A lot of the people that sponsored that bill were flushed out. We're bringing in new freshman legislators before they get started. They've touched the product. The product has been around here. So when we go talk to them now, it's like, oh, okay, we get what's going on. Like, and we kind of lay out the reality to them. Like, look, we're mom and pop shop owners, and some of them have, the alternate products like big tobacco products and stuff, but it doesn't matter because the delivery of nicotine is what matters. And that's what we talk about.
Right.
And that people need it and they're dependent upon it too. So our adults here in Florida are dependent upon it. Why take that away from them for no reason? It's a choice. It's an adult choice. If you want to raise the age of 21, who gives a shit? Raise it to 21. If that makes you feel good, you go ahead and raise it. But outside of that, don't take the adult freedoms away. And that's kind of where we are right now as a state. We're very fortunate. Working since 2014, they're tired of looking at our mugs, and we kind of stuck with it, man, constantly beating that drum. Now, things could have been a lot different if we stopped beating the drum or we had a change in the organization, which I wish at some point I could step down and step away and maybe do something different. But as long as nobody else wants to do it, I keep doing it, and they get to see me in my ugly head all the time. So
you're doing incredible down there. I mean, I'm
singing the same song
in it as much as I was, but I'm always looking. That's the thing. I'm watching everything. I don't comment. I don't get involved. I can't right now, but
You're the Reaper.
Everything.
So
you just hide in the dark.
Our strategy this year, and because you asked, is to be out in front of it, right? We've never been able financially to be out in front of it. We're in a position going into 23 session to where if we could raise funding for our PAC, we can actually get in front of it and make contributions to some of these freshman legislators, sit down and talk to them and attend some of their fundraising, have those conversations before we have to go to hit a hall somewhere or beat down a bill, which is where we want to be. So we're really trying to push this raising PAC money. But I mean, not a lot of the other states are in that position yet, but eventually I hope they get there. But to be in that position and then have to go around. I hate asking for money, but you got to beg for money. It's like, Jesus, guys, come on, we beat down 43 friggin' bills since 2014, and I got to beg you for some money to try to get out in front of this thing. But you've already said, we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot as an industry, and
yeah, we did. And the thing is, like you said, you're getting ahead of it. You're getting ahead of it. We've always been, this industry has always been reactionary. We've had to react to things. We could have had a month notice. We could have had a day notice. We have to react to it. You're talking about getting ahead. You're talking about knowing about this stuff from happening, stopping it before it starts.
Yeah. And there was nothing. I looked everywhere to see if there was any fight back in LA. I didn't see any protesters. I didn't see any vape shop
people are
owners.
Tired, John. People are tired.
Oh no,
man.
I know. I'm just letting them know that
just
I
keep
looked.
getting beat down so much, man.
Yeah.
And for a state to be in the position we're in, and there are a few, I'm sure. I don't, because of the sessions that we've come in and out of so fast and constantly getting out and meeting people, I haven't kept up. But I can tell you this: there are states that people are working right now, and if we can get out and work ahead of it, to Matthew's point, we can set our own tone. Now, the bigger problem is on a federal level, the bigger manufacturers and stuff are going, well, I'm filing PMTAs for synthetic now. Yeah. I'm doing this and I'm going to kick the can. Well, at some point it would be nice to say, hey, Ron, Gov, if you're getting ready to go up for re-election in November, wouldn't it be nice if you did like every other state's doing with hemp and say, don't screw with vapor in Florida? Federal laws are one thing, but don't screw with vapor and nicotine in Florida. We federally, THC is illegal. Let's make vapor the same way. I could use that, but it takes funding, right? And that would be another next level strategy. Right. But you got to think about this and lay the bricks, and you got to be financially supported. But it could happen. And imagine that if several states got that idea, raised the funds, and then went and said, you're not screwing with my state. We did it with THC. We're going to do it with this. It's federally legal. We're still going to sell it. Have a good time.
Create a haven. It would create a haven. It would create jobs booming left and right. It would create, you would have people from across the country moving to these states for vape havens.
And you get these people that just want to go, well, I'm going to file a PMTA and kick the can. Well, if I had the money that we've spent on kicking the can, this would be done already. Yep. But it's having the forethought and the support and the ingredients. I always refer to baking, right? A baker can bake, but he can't bake without the ingredients. So if I don't have the ingredients, funding, we can't bake that cake.
Right.
And believe me, nobody gets paid on the board. So this all goes to that, especially a PAC fund. We can't touch it. So if money goes to the PAC fund, that's all it's being used for. 100%.
Let's say hello to our Aussie.
Paul, long time no see. How are you?
Hey guys, how are you, Matt?
Are you cold?
It's
winter.
It is winter here in Australia now, and we've had crazy weather already. Already snow in like parts of Lower Australia, which is quite strange. And
drop bears.
Sorry.
How's the drop bears?
Oh, they're alive and well, causing mischief.
Is your Foster's nice and cold?
Oh, don't. Oh, man. Really?
I didn't do it. It was Nick.
Those drop bears are literally have no other point of existing besides eating eucalyptus and developing chlamydia.
Thank you. And and all the male variants have 2 penises.
Lucky
so
bastard.
there you go.
I don't know what I'd do if I had 2 penises, man.
Well, you would have chlamydia.
I'd have chlamydia.
You'd go fuck yourself. That's what you'd do.
I'd go fuck myself.
Yeah, exactly. No, sorry. I've just been off booking myself in a hospital for next week for dual knee replacement surgery. That's where I've been.
Oh,
damn.
Full.
That means he can't leave the show for like the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
He's stuck in that chair for
for
a
4
month
weeks.
and a half.
He'll be on his desk with one leg up, propped up there like that.
No, not one leg.
He's
We're
doing
doing
both.
both.
Oh, you're doing both at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucking nuts. No effing way, dude.
It's better to do both because then
Mm.
if you do one, you're going to
You should-
strengthen one. The next one's going to be weaker. Just do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Thank you.
Get her
Well,
done.
I mean, if you have people there to help you, yeah. But if you're just a Joe Blow with nobody there to help you, I mean, yeah, two at the same time. I mean, it's difficult to wipe your own ass when you can't fucking get up out of your bed.
Well, that's why they have this wonderful thing called fucking bidets and fucking just
days.
hop in the fucking shower.
Yeah. No.
Yep. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But
Well-
you're up walking the following day now.
Well, let me ask Nick this question: Are you surprised of the 12-0 vote there in LA?
Me?
Are you surprised that we
all.
couldn't get
Not
not
at
one
all.
person to sway over to our side at
No,
all?
because John, look, if the one person or two people swayed over, it's not going to change the
it's
vote,
not.
and they will be bastardized. So, I mean, that's the
Right.
reality of it, right? And they know
Yeah.
that. That's why doctors aren't coming out all over the country saying vaping's fine, because the ones that have been shit on. So, those two people want to keep that seat, or one, or three, or four, but it's still not the majority. Unless you can
it's
get that majority to sway, that's when you make moves. If you just get a few people, they're not going to do anything. They're going to shut their mouth and sit in a corner
Well, right, and to Matthew's
and go out
point
and have
too.
a vape.
Right. Well, and to Matthew's point too. I mean, when he's made the comment about losing the battle of public opinion, and the thing is that these legislators know that it's just way easier just to vote to pass the ordinance, because if they went the other way, like you said, keep the seat, they already know that they have enough people out there would be like, well, I don't want my kids to get harmed. I don't want my kids to be, get their hands on vapes. I'm just gonna, so I can sit here to, next year and the year after that, I'm just gonna go.
Of course.
Right, because because the people that would support that decision far outweigh the people that are against it.
Well, think about
And
this
John,
way too.
what I was telling you in the beginning when I was talking to Matthew answering his question about Florida, I said both House and Senate were unanimous voting on that SB 810. It was because they knew that it was going to pass. None of them wanted to become the bastard.
Yeah.
So they voted unanimous. The governor said, I could care less.
DeSantis doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit.
But
Yeah.
those two, the two House and Senate, they didn't want to piss anybody off and cause any waves. So when you're talking about council, it's the same thing, just at a different level.
Right.
Same
right.
thing.
You have to think about it this way. And so, again, I've been involved with other things as far as political stuff that I've been in other avenues. And I was having a conversation with someone the other day. It's like a situation in a very conservative state that a lot of conservatives may not agree with. And people are saying, well, what if we had a giant protest outside? And I'm like, no, because the majority of the state is going to think one way.
Right.
And that politician wants to be reelected.
Yeah.
So you could have fucking 5,000 people outside, but that's a blip in the entire state of a very conservative state. So it makes no difference. When you deal with something like vaping, no politician wants to sacrifice their position to support something as vaping. I mean, DeSantis just doesn't give a shit about fucking
No.
that is one dude that beats to his own fucking drum.
Well, you would think eventually the economic impact of closing these places down is eventually going to hurt somewhat. When
No,
you're talking,
no way.
yeah, I
No.
mean, you're
It's
still
not going to
talking
hurt
about
enough, John.
Yeah,
They-
not
tell you
enough.
why.
Not enough.
I'll tell you
It's
why.
not enough. It's not going to be
Look at
enough.
New York.
Yeah.
Almost every vape shop is shut down in New York right now.
Yeah.
At least on Long Island right now, almost every vape shop is shut down or converted.
Right.
Even during COVID, shops were shutting down left and right.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt the bottom dollar. It didn't hurt the townships. It didn't hurt. No. vaping is, we see it as such a booming industry, but in the large scale of things right now,
Yeah. I mean, it is. I don't know what it's up to now. Is it in? It's past 3 billion, isn't it?
probably, but you have to look at what
Yeah.
is considered
Right. Hardware is a big chunk of it, I think, too. So
disposables.
yeah, disposables as well.
Disposables are going for $25-$30 a pop.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this was eight. It was 18 with tax. This thing, and it lasted me 4 days, to be honest. 4
So
days.
we've gone full circle again.
Yeah,
where
I know it's weird, huh?
we are now in disposables with the capacity of a tank.
Yeah. But I think the long-term vapor, like we are, I think we buy these. I bought it for convenience. To be honest, I wouldn't have bought this if I was heading to San Francisco. I just did, like I said, I didn't want to carry a battery, a huge mod, a 120 ml bottle of e-liquid in my pocket, and I could just buy this and slide it in my pocket.
But you just hit the nail on the head, though.
Yeah.
You literally just explained why everybody's going to start using
exactly.
those.
I'm talking about us. The guys that have been vaping.
Well, no, we're a different animal altogether. I mean,
No, we're not.
We're not. I just said that's what I'm saying.
Why.
We're buying this for convenience as well. It's like,
exactly.
Tim, if you're going to a concert,
remember during the cloud chasing scenes, right? The big, the AVs and the cloud comps. What were they all using as well?
Yeah.
For convenience, for
hey, Ron,
that similar feeling.
Ron out there.
I
mean,
so
if you're going to a
disposable,
concert,
John,
if you're going to a
here's the other
concert,
thing.
yeah, go ahead.
If it gets taken from you at the courthouse or the committee meeting, you're not going to be out but $18.
Right, exactly.
If that gets taken from me at an airport or in a courthouse or in the state capitol, I'm not going to care. So what are you going to do? You're going to take your big mod and get it tossed?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to a concert, Tim, are you going to buy this or are you going to take your mod with you?
I wouldn't buy that at all. I would bring something small that I already have here.
Yeah.
Probably something that I refill. And what I meant by we're a different animal is I didn't mean that there aren't people mixed into our contingent that buy disposables or use them or use pod type devices that are a little bit more convenient and easier to tote around. I'm just saying I feel like we're a bit of a different animal because we typically have a lot of other devices at our disposal that we would much rather use than gravitate to a pod type device or a disposable or a Juul or something like that. Whereas I think the bigger contingent of people who are just out there in the minutia of the vaping world, the people that do vape, I think they're probably more inclined out of convenience to consistently go into a vape shop or even a C-store every day and buy 2 or 3 of those things and let it last them, a week and a half to 2 weeks and then turn around and go right back and do it again. They're never going to walk into a vape shop and then get educated on other devices or, tanks or even throw away coils and stuff like that. They're just going to be like, no, I'll just go down to the vape shop and I'll pick up a couple of those strawberry things. They work really well. I'm not smoking. Well, good for you. I mean, that's sort of the point. But at the same time, it still enhances the whole disposable market. It makes it that much more in the target of anybody who sees what's going on, and then that just translates to the kids and everything else.
And so, I used to carry a bigger mod, right? So now I keep one at the office, one at the house. But when I'm out and about, I'm using one of those Caliburn refillable things. The A2.
Caliburn's one of the best devices that ever fucking came out.
But if it weren't for those types of a tight draw, small, easy to handle device, I would be on a disposable every day, no doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't carry a mod anymore. And it's not because I don't want to. It's just that's where it ended up. Because I was going to the Capitol, because I was out in public.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't blowing the big clouds. It was convenient. It just worked into what I do. And everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
But when that public image was out there about, they're blowing clouds and this and that, I started looking for the Caliburn devices and those types of things. And, the Vapresso Cross and those smaller refillable pod systems, well, they work. So,
yeah. And I'm not trying to take away from there being a functional reason to use those devices, because even I did it for the longest time. Like everywhere I went, when I went to the bar down the road, or I went to the grocery store, I didn't take any of this mod shit with me. I just took my Caliburn or my the Argus Air or something like that, and had it in my pocket the whole entire time. I would put 2 in my pocket when I went out, because I'm like, shit, the battery might die while I'm out. So I mean, I did the exact same thing too. So I mean, I'm not trying to come off as sounding hypocritical. I was just more or less
You weren't
attaching
No. The thing is-
ourselves to us having more at our disposal that we might otherwise rather use.
You
But
weren't,
see, now
Tim.
here's
You would have
the thing,
got
though.
this if you were.
Yeah.
As you have to look at the domino effect of that, though. As disposables become more popular, shops are going to stock more disposables. So they're not going to stock open system devices that they have to explain how to use to somebody.
Right.
And, they're just going to go, oh, what's selling? Fucking disposables. Oh, why? If a shop has, say, $5,000 to order fucking inventory, right? And they check their books and everything, and they show, well, let's see, over 50% of my sales have been disposables in the last couple of weeks. Are you dropping $5,000 on e-liquid and coils and open tanks, or are you buying fucking $5,000 worth of disposables that you're selling at fucking $25-$30 a pop, tripling your fucking money? And at that
and driving
point,
your client base too,
Yeah.
because
Right.
now you've expanded your
Right.
client base to those convenience store people. You're churning your profit at a much faster rate, and you can put basically anybody behind the counter, because strawberry ice is right there, man. Go get it.
right.
Yeah.
Done.
And
Well,
for Rod's point, so here's the thing: which more dispo manufacturers would make nicotine step down in products creation's priority? Yeah. Imagine this, right? Imagine a shop that you go in, and instead of the jewel case that was there, you have big display cases of disposables in different rows being step downs of nicotine.
Yeah.
You know what that would do? 100% destroy the open system vaping game.
It's coming. It's you see it now. There's zero.
Yeah.
There is flavorless. There is 30%, 20%, and they're coming out with more of a step down to 15 and such. So it's on the way. I mean, it's in production now. I mean, I just received
And these
samples
are the
of 30s.
products that are either going to get, again,
But can you blame that on what happened 8-9 years ago, though, where everybody all of a sudden was weaning themselves off of cigarettes with 3 and 6 instead of like we were when we were started? We were 18, 20, and we were weaning ourselves down. But now all of a sudden you had manufacturers that are like, why should I make a 12? Why should I make an 18? Why should I make anything higher when everything I'm selling right now is 3 and 6? I mean, I saw that firsthand with Sample Box.
The device
Sample
dictated
Box
that,
just
though.
started weaning themselves out of that market because there was no market for anything over 6.
You're right. And I want to make another point too, is that we kind of commit our own Harry Carry too, in that, as advocates for vaping who see people who are smokers who want to get off of smoking, and they're like, they see us vaping or they understand our story and how it helped us to quit smoking. We're more inclined to go, okay, how much are you smoking? A pack a day? Okay, well, I'm not going to talk you into something like this. This is not where I'm going to lead you down that path. This is something that eventually you probably graduate into if you want to go that route, because you can get the lower milligram stuff. Not putting anything aside.
pack a day, 12 milligram with a fucking Nautilus. Let's go.
Right, but right. I think that's a brilliant suggestion, but I do think that a lot of people probably would steer a longtime smoker who's just transitioning to vape immediately, probably to a smaller pod type device, MTL, where it has a tighter draw. They get that similar experience to smoking. We probably, we could offer all kinds of products, but I think we commit our own Harry Carry by sending people down that path of a convenient, easy, quick thing they can get just about anywhere, because they might be intimidated by the vape shop, and ordering online is difficult, but they can walk into almost any place and there's 35 boxes of different types of disposables or jewels, or even if you could get them to go with a Caliburn or something like that, it's still kind of sort of in some ways the same kind of thing. So
and here's the other thing to that too, and I'll use my state as a prime example. My state has a full-on flavor ban. We cannot have fucking flavored e-liquid. But what does almost every gas station, every C-store, and any last standing fucking hybrid shop have? Disposables.
Disposable.
They're easy to hide.
Yeah.
You can now they have the unflavored ones that are actually flavored.
Yeah.
You can't get away
just
with
buy
that.
this real pretty red one.
It's
Yeah,
red
buy this
flavor.
unflavored
Red
red
flavor.
package.
What does red taste like?
Yeah.
Well, I
Maybe
wanna
you'll
touch
like
on this
maybe
part
you'll like
here.
this orange one. These orange ones are really pretty. You can put it. They goes well with your outfit.
The orange one.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about this, what Rod just put down there, because there are some individuals that are in it for the hobbyists. They are the hobbyists in this, but I'm going to willing to bet that hobby group is kind of thinned out over the years. I don't think it's not so much of a hobby anymore. We
I
don't
can
see.
speak to that.
Yeah.
My shop,
Yeah.
we used to have build station, drill press, customers in there talking about it, rebuilding, sell the RTAs, RDTAs. No more.
No more.
Done.
I mean, we don't have the big fluctuation of the $1,100 fucking mech mod, or the limited edition fucking. I'm not going to name any names because I have a lot of friends that are in the mech mod business. So, but we don't have the $2,000, the $3,000 0001 mech mod that everybody had to have. There was a big fight. I think that's gone. I think with the introduction of
No,
most
now
of
it's about billet boxes.
yeah, billets they're kind of still kind of floating up in there. They're staying strong, but
There's
you don't
that
see
small
that.
group that still get the rebuildable.
Yeah. I mean,
boxes
even
and
this.
all that,
I mean, even the squonkers aren't that big anymore. I mean, the people that are still squonking, yes, but they're not. There's not the $350 to $800 squonk mod coming out of fucking Italy. Is it still there? Is it the market's there for it? No. I mean, I remember the push 6-7 years ago at the vape shows. Oh, we need to have that a section with just
That modder section.
Thank you.
Yep.
And there was just this push. And I remember the first time it came out, that first year, it was like 10 people in there, because everybody realized I'm not going to pay $1,000 for that a 3D printed squonk mod from Italy, the Frankenfurg or whatever the fuck it was called. And it was all this push, but nobody wanted to do it. Nobody was over there. I mean, hobby part, I don't think so. I think that's kind of
It's not
7
here in
years
the
ago.
US. Paul, is it still strong in Australia? Rebuildables
Well,
and stuff, or are you guys done?
Yeah.
No, rebuildables are huge here.
Yeah.
They always have been,
Greece,
always have
Italy.
been, always will be.
I don't
Because
say always will be.
oh well, okay, but you've got all the disposables, yes.
They're on the
But-
way.
Look, I've got a whole table full, and
I was
I've
going to say,
got
how many
manufacturers.
disposables did you just have in your hands before?
He had
Like,
10 in his hand. He had the red flavor, the orange flavor,
I got
the green flavor.
And that's the 6,500 puffs, too. That ain't no little ones.
No, these. Yeah, well, we won't go there now, will we? Now?
6,000 puffs, that'll last you a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, these ones are. They're all 6,500s. These are 4,500s.
That's
Rechargeable?
insane. 6,500 puffs on a disposable that can recharge. You have a vape. You have
Yeah,
a full fucking
Yeah.
device in your
yeah,
hand.
and this is USB-C and a mesh
Airflow?
stainless mesh coil These things are absolutely baller. I'm sorry, but
You know what they're going to start doing? And then that's the end of vaping. The moment, as we know it, the moment they make it so you can replace a fucking coil inside of the disposable.
No, but then they'll just make shitty coils.
no, no.
That first one's always great. You know that, Matthew. That first coil that you get in the box, that fucker's amazing.
I don't know. It's been about a year. I don't remember.
But then as soon as you buy that extra pack of 4, it's all
He used to make his own.
Yeah, make your own. That's how that's the reason I
I'm
started
still on
building.
Nautilus. Nautilus is still the best coil out there.
Yeah, that's the reason I started building, is because I just got tired of buying a pack of 5 and having one good coil in there. You know, I was just like, okay, I'm spending $25 for 5 coils, and one of them is good. One of them was good. You know,
I think that persists to some degree. I think some of these throwaway, like, I think they've come a long way, and some of them are lasting a lot longer. Because I was going to say, at the same time too, and when you talk to the element of convenience, it would seem that the rebuildable market kind of faded away with the advent of companies coming along and making these really good tanks, you know, with coil systems, you know, with their disposable coils that you just chuck them in the trash and pop a new one in there. And I think once people who were previously builders, or people that kind of went that route, when they found that real quick convenience of just having I don't have one, but I hear people talk about this Sakers tank all day long.
The Sakers,
and you should see the vapor that comes off that damn thing, and people are just raving about it. And I think that those companies also start to squash a little bit of the old school rebuildable market. It's just, there's a lot of decent tanks out there now that you can just pop on and go to town.
Hey, how about those disposables tanks?
Yeah,
the replace of the entire disposable tank.
Well,
I've got that too.
You have to also consider, I don't think the coils got any better, Tim. I believe the juice got better, to be honest with you. I think some of the sweeteners have been taken out. I mean, coils are lasting. I think coils are lasting a little bit longer because we got a better quality juice that is out there. Should I not say juice no more?
People are going to disposables because they sell more disposables than they do coils.
Yeah.
Well, the liquid market now, if you look at it on a broad scale, okay, we've removed most of the nasties. Okay, that's for a start. Second, nicotine technology went through the roof in the last 3 years due to demand in the market. Synthetic was bought from the back door straight through the front door. That does not, like some of the new synthetics, does not mess up a coil, period.
That new AQ30 doesn't. That new water-based?
No.
You're not going to see anybody for a coil for a long time with that AQ30 nicotine.
I hope to God there aren't these videos out there, because that's fucking dangerous.
Oh, no, there are.
No,
they're there.
I watched a video on how to redo my A-Bay all the time. I would always friggin' clean it out and refill it manually. I mean, I never kept buying more pods. I just refilled the old one.
They're talking about recharging. So
yeah, but at some point the technology all becomes somewhat the same. As long as you can get the pod out and figure out how to pop it open.
I mean, look at what we did at the beginning of fucking the vaping industry.
That's the word modder came from. I get that. I get that. But, you know, when you start taking this plastic device apart and trying to figure out a way to recharge that battery in there, I think now we're talking about something that could get very, very dangerous, not just for that person, but for the whole community in a whole. Because if we start having people burning their house,
circa fucking 2008, 2009, when people were fucking around, 2010, when people were just learning about fucking Ohm's law, they were just learning about regulated versus unregulated. I mean, we didn't even have wattage; we only had voltage.
To Beast Gamer's point, I don't think we're specifically saying that the hobbyist aspect is completely gone or eradicated. There's still plenty of us in the game that are still into that sort of stuff. Yep. We're just talking about in the general perspective of stuff.
Yeah,
the vast majority don't do that. They go for the easy route.
Yeah, I think too, China's made that difference up by just putting a better quality product out there than they have been in a while. You know, I mean, with us, that if you go back 8, 9 years ago, I mean, you really had to kind of save up money to buy an RDA. I mean, it wasn't $30, it wasn't $40. You know, you were in that $80, $90 range, and you were taking a chance. But I think now, with the introduction of like companies like Hell Vape and Geek Vape and Vaporesso,
I'm
I
sorry, the
think.
Mutation X was only like fucking $35.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna put that up there with the Stellar. You're gonna put that up there with the with
For cloud chasing, absolutely. I beat out a Still Air. I beat out a fucking Tobe with the Mutation VX.
It's a good. I have one. I still have it right here. I could pull it out. It's still a great little RDA. But I mean, the quality that went into making that RDA was, as far as the insulator and the screws and the post and the materials used to make that, were nowhere near the standard that was coming out of some of the smaller shops.
No, I mean, I'll agree to that. But
Yeah.
people didn't care about that. They cared about fucking cloud production.
I did. I was getting tired of insulators catching on fire when I went to go hit the goddamn thing.
And you were part of that very rare like 10%. Though the rest didn't give a fuck. They were, if you got into the cloud chasing scene, you were only in it for clouds.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the transition from flavor to clouds. I mean, I fell into that gap for about a year where I was just like, okay, I can make this cloud. I can make a bigger cloud. I can make it longer. I can do this. I know how to do it. I got into that, but I slowly realized that I was going through 120 mils in like 2 or 3 days, and that wasn't a good thing.
Yeah.
That was before. Well, think about it. That was the introduction to the. Remember the thing that we had suction cup to our windshield.
The thing, the thing.
Pump.
Yeah,
the pump.
the thing.
It
It was the pump thing for your dripper.
God damn it! No, I actually used to fucking remember the damn name. Easy Pump. No.
Easy Pump, baby. That was just.
Was it Easy
No,
Pump?
drip something. It was drip.
I feel like
There was
that's
a couple of them. There was
feel
a
like
couple.
that's a scene out of a Austin Powers movie.
Yeah.
Drip easy.
One Swedish easy pump.
Yeah. Just
Easy Drip, I think. Fucking, God damn it! Somebody
Yeah.
in fucking chat tell me this. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was easy drip. You could stick them on the windshield of your car, and you could just
just
give it
take and put your RDA on there and just hit
Yeah.
it. Do 2 pumps.
Yeah, well, we had a couple that was in the Zample Box group. I don't remember their names now. They were a young couple married, and the dude totaled their family car because he was dripping in the car,
Dripping while driving.
dripping while driving, and he
No.
totaled the friggin' car. And then that's when everybody started talking about that pump thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, except here's the problem though. If you're fucking doing this while driving,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're still distracted. You know what I
You're
mean?
distracting the
You hit a
truck
fucking
driver that's next
pothole
to you,
and you're using, say,
wondering
a
what the
mech
fuck
mod.
you're doing in your car.
I'm
Using
guessing
a
the
fucking
percentage of wreck.
$500 mech mod, and you're
Yeah,
doing this, and you hit a pothole, and your mech mod shoots into the fucking
shatters your windshield.
I don't know, Rod.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, here we
There
go.
it is, right there.
Here we go.
Graham got it. Graham got it right there.
Easy dripper.
Easy dripper.
Easy dripper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, that was yeah.
I just thought it was the weirdest device ever because I used to see guys driving around here in Australia with it, and they're there on their windscreen going like this, and then having a toot,
Well, I
kind
can't
of,
remember.
and then you're trying to find it on your windscreen.
Yeah.
That would be
was the funny
crazy in the
part.
outback, huh?
Oh, you
Yeah.
gotta-
That kind of shit would be
I
nuts
mean,
out there.
it was better than
Chasing
trying to do this.
kangaroos.
Trying to do this, that was scary as shit. Trying to drip into your RDA, that little hole while you're driving. So, I never bought one. I thought it was cool little idea, but we had some pretty cool innovative stuff that's
Yeah,
come
there
out.
was them cup holder ones where you put your mod in, the liquid's next to it. You just kind of drip in there while you're at a red light.
Yep.
Little cup holder ones.
Ah.
I mean, I was smart. I had a DRV.
Yeah.
Mine plugged into the fucking cigarette lighter. It was attached, and I fucking
Yeah.
I had that on my desk. I got to the point where I was getting tired of, making sure everything that I had was charged. So I ended up getting one of those devices that it was just plugged into my USB, and I would just grab it on my desk and set it down, grab it and set it down. And that's what I did for a long time.
I think I still have some of those kicking around at the shop.
Yeah, those are great. They were great when on your desk. When you're on your desk, it's like, fuck that way you're not having to look
The
around for
USB plug
batteries.
with that retractable cord.
Yeah.
Well, no, the DRV was.
And then some
Oh, yours was
jackass.
different. Yeah.
Then
yeah,
some
that was the one
jack-
that only plugged into DC.
Yeah.
Then we had some jackass that decided that he could put a vape device in a sweatshirt and cause all kind of havoc for us in this industry. So we had some innovations, some good, some bad.
This
Easy
industry
Dripper was
the
good.
Definition of this is why we can't have nice things.
That's it. That was it. I mean, there was some good stuff out there. You know, the tank that hold 3 different flavors. Come on, that's innovation, man.
That wasn't innovation. That was bad. That's like, I'll rank that up there with the Kanger Tech Mega Tank.
Yeah, the Mega
that
Tank.
hold like fucking 15, 20 mils of e-liquid, and it ran off like 2 or 4 fucking coils.
Tim's got the big boy. He's got one of those big boys sitting right there on his desk. Not the Kanger, but
It's like the old Mason, I think they called it, from that
Oh,
one company
the
with
fucking-
Vaporgate.
Vaporgate.
Can't hear you, Tim.
Yeah,
Was it the Mason?
40
That big one?
No.
millimeter fucking RDA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the PWM back there with the friggin' aromomizer. The 41 holds 41 mils or something stupid like that. Like fucking gonna walk around with that shit all day
Yeah,
long.
that's it.
the dump tank. That was
That thing only goes as far as that little vape station back there to this table, and that's as far as she goes. That's it. There's
Can you
nothing.
imagine hauling that fucking thing around all
Well, you
day,
know,
man?
well, we affectionately called it the water cooler. That was the name that we gave it because it looked like the water
Yeah.
cooler in the office.
And
I mean,
then
that's what it fucking is.
Yeah.
tank that was it soda? Was it soda? It was
Yeah, there
soda,
was
yeah.
the thing where you could put drinks in it, and it didn't
Yeah.
take off. It was like you could put your favorite soda in it, and then it would somehow. I don't think you actually vaporized the soda or something, but you could put. Yeah, we found it on the show a few
Yeah.
weeks back. We were talking about it, and I
Well, then there
found
was
it.
those assholes that were vaping fucking alcohol. That was good
Yeah,
too.
Yeah. All
Again,
kinds
this
of.
is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, we took it for. I mean, the industry took things for granted. Like it was untouchable. It was a bulletproof thing, and it was like,
Yeah.
let's just create all this crazy stuff, and all this, fun, interesting. Like you could go down to the device level, with the thing that looked like the Nintendo controller,
The
and
Pokemon
thing-
balls.
the Pokemon ball, and
I
the
don't
grenade,
know.
and all
One thing
that.
a certain organization kind of, said don't fucking mess
Yeah.
with. I mean,
Well,
just
Well, you got to think too. I mean, I brought this up before. There was in the beginning, there's this whole new generation of people. Yeah, did they get into this industry to save lives? Some got in it to profit, and there was a lot of people that were in their early 20s that became millionaires very, very quickly. And these were individuals that didn't know how to finance their money. They had no clue. And you could see it on Instagram. You started seeing the Ferraris, you started seeing, the houses, and you start seeing all the different cars and
they weren't even doing the houses. They were doing fucking Ferraris, Lambos, and watches.
and watches,
Shoes.
sneakers,
and-
Yeezys,
Fucking
yeah.
Yeezys, the Yeezys, man.
Yeah, and there was a handful of them. I'm not going to name names, but a few of them actually bought Maybachs and things like that. Ultra high end cars that.
How many of those people you think are still in the industry, Nick?
What industry? Us or CBD and Delta 8?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Or
the
is it
ones
all
that went
one?
over to that industry and started
Is it all
fucking
one
around
now?
there?
But
Yeah, I
that's
know.
the entrepreneurial spirit right
Yeah,
there, though.
yeah, I
they
can't-
knew
I
where
can't
to
shit
go,
on 'em.
where it was hot, and they could make a ton of money. And then when they saw
That's
the
not
ship
entrepreneurial,
started to
that's
sink, they jumped
parasitic.
off.
Yeah.
They didn't
I
go
mean, I'm not
away,
gonna
John.
Yeah. It's very,
They're still
very
around.
little of those guys.
No,
I know a few of them that went,
Well,
the other way.
They
Yeah,
didn't
a
get
lot-
turned into real estate moguls, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, most of them did. I think a lot of them jumped into cannabis as soon as they saw that little freedom, that little window,
Some are
the
selling
sliver.
drugs on the street corner,
Yeah,
whatever it
that-
takes.
And the other one that I saw was that it was somebody who I can't remember. Someone here probably remember who it is, but they were like they had one of the larger e-liquid manufacturing companies out there, and they went into that that cigarette industry that was the tobacco-free cigarettes and stuff like that. They came out about a year and a half ago or a couple years ago. I think we even did a story on the show
That
about
was
them.
Post Malone. He actually makes THC cigarettes now.
Well, no, these aren't THC. These are like cigarettes, but they apparently are tobacco free. They're made out of
No, I
other,
don't know who that
They're
is.
herbal.
The herbal.
Yeah, I
cigarettes.
remember. the
yeah, that
product. I
kind of
can't-
stuff.
Herbal
They found other
cigarettes.
industries to thrive in,
Yeah.
or at least
They
thought were going to
use,
take off.
They use other herbs to give you a.
I saw commercials for. There was on Facebook for a while there. I kept seeing these ads pop up for this company that does. They did pouches and they did like a dips with like the tobacco free dip stuff. You know,
Right.
it was out of like Tennessee or Kentucky or something like that, and they had peach and apple and
Yeah.
all these other different flavors where it was a tobacco free.
That's the
dip.
other thing I didn't see. That's the other thing I didn't see. The other product I didn't see mentioned in that LA article was the chewing tobaccos. Not one single article mentioned them as another.
Well, I'm sure
product
the
as-
Kodiak's gone off the shelf. All that
Yes.
mentholated dip stuff. I mean, if it's tobacco flavored,
Yeah, none
You
of it
know,
was ever.
sure.
None of it was mentioned in any of the articles that I.
but I
read.
think it's like sweeping. Like when they say that shit about all that stuff, they mean that too. Smokeless
Yeah.
tobacco.
Yeah.
So
And
all
again, it's such a small percentage versus vapor products, and
Yeah.
I mean, did they get rid of flavored Dutches and fucking
Yeah,
cigars
snuff.
and such?
Yeah, that's on the
yeah,
list. They made sure that was,
cigarillos and all that.
they made
stuff,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned cigarillos and cigars. But
Really?
Yeah, they mentioned them in the article. They mentioned menthol cigarettes. They didn't say one thing about vaping whatsoever, or or chewing tobacco. And then of course the article ends with them the exemption on hookah. So
See, cigars saved our butts here because
Yeah.
some of our champions were like, well, you can do tobacco, but don't do cigars. And automatically the body part people all flipped. They were like, yep, we're turning down this this
Yeah.
bill.
Yeah.
But you try screwing with cigars in this area in Florida,
Ooh.
it's not going to be
I
good.
wonder why. I wonder
Good
why,
luck.
Nick. Oh.
Yeah, so they can't get cigars in, so that kind of helps vape a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, most of those guys, they're not smoking. Well, I shouldn't. I don't know the numbers, so I'm not going to say most, but they're smoking a higher end cigar. They're not.
Yeah,
smoking
but even
cigarillos.
cigars though don't really kind of tangent off of, like when you talk about traditional cigars. I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
anything that's meant for other kinds of recreation. But I'm saying, but when you get into the cigar market itself, it's not really a flavored thing. You know what I mean? They might have some
The vanilla's
vanillas
a big
or
one.
and things like
you
that.
got
Or
like some caramel, vanilla, maybe a cherry.
Yes.
small.
Bourbon kind of stuff.
Bourbon.
Yeah, but I mean, anytime I've ever been anywhere and someone pulls out a cigar or anything like that, there's none of that's going on. It's just
No.
your
No,
your
it's
run of the mill tobacco.
nasty ass fucking
Yeah.
cigar.
All right, relax. Fucking
I love cigars. I'm not shitting on cigars.
Yeah,
Big
like
huge here in Tampa.
It's my only curse, man.
There's factories here. It's like
I would smoke one on this show, but I know it would cause a lot of trouble.
They're in the corner.
Well,
here
what about
rolling
like
them and
pipe
everything else.
tobacco? Did they bring up pipe
No,
tobacco?
Pipe
or anything?
tobacco was not
no
mentioned in the
one's
article.
touching fucking pipe tobacco.
Yeah, I mean,
No
I
way.
haven't seen anyone smoke a pipe in eons. My dad used to smoke a pipe.
My brother smoked a pipe for a while, and then it started giving him heartburn, so he quit. And then I got him into vaping. So,
Well,
yeah,
my
he's-
dad was a pipe tobacco salesman
yeah,
for
yeah.
years.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I tell you, I looked through that. I looked at 4 different articles on that LA story, and like I said, vaping was never mentioned in any of them. All they just mentioned were the menthol cigarettes, cigarillos was mentioned on there, and that was about it. I didn't speak of chewing tobacco. I didn't talk about vaping or the kids, and it was just all about flavors, cigars, and flavored menthol cigarettes, and that was it. So it's like I was telling Tim, was there a reason for that?
Well,
Yeah,
I
was
think
there a
I
reason?
think it was said quite well. It's just
Yeah.
lump it into the tobacco market, call
Yeah.
it tobacco, and it's flavored because now it's regulated by the FDA as a tobacco product. They don't have to say vaping
Well, how
anymore.
about if it fooled the guy into thinking, "Oh, I'm just never mind. I'm not going to go into that whole thing." I mean, it could it made a difference if the vaping part of it, but I doubt it. Like
I
Nick
think that's
said,
sensationalism anymore
Yeah.
if they use the term because they know it resonates with people who don't know what it is or might have a negative reaction to it by just saying the word. It's just it's just sensationalism.
I
They
mean,
don't really
nowadays,
have to say it.
the level of anti-vaping uh, commercial and fucking propaganda that has just become accepted at this point.
Yeah.
It became the new fucking anti-cigarette. You know, it's on if you watch and the prime times that they choose too. I was watching WWE the other day, and every other commercial was an anti-vaping commercial.
Yeah.
But it
On
talks about kids, right? Get your head out of the clouds and all that stuff.
Yeah, get your head out of the, that was their slogan.
some target kids, some just target vaping in general. They're showing even college kids on them now.
Wow.
Yeah, with their testimonials about how they
I
all
want to
big-
see high school kids just start smoking pipes. Just go in the pipe route and go
There's
after
gonna be
that
a
group. Go
vaping
after that
MSA
group for a
soon.
while.
They're going to come up with a vaping MSA. Hopefully, we
And
have
that-
the money to fund
Oh
it
yeah, that's coming. That's for sure. It's
because they're
coming.
And
going
you
to
know
all
who's going
start
to be
suing
part of
these
that
vape
conversation?
companies.
Not us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is going to be the big tobacco companies,
Bloomberg.
and I guarantee it, you're going to see the disposables involved in that.
Yeah.
Because right now, the disposables are technically illegal, being sold illegally,
Yeah. Legally. Yeah.
but there's no enforcement.
Yeah. Well, obviously, there's no enforcement
Well,
on any end of it. So
there's so much e-liquid that's being sold without PMTA approval. They all got MDOs. They're still on the shelves.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't get a stay, you got an MDO. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a handful of companies that haven't gotten any response. They're still working through it, but for the most part, from the first PMTAs, everybody got an MDO or a stay. And there's probably 20 companies in the country that got the stay. Everybody
And the
else got
stay is only going to
MDOs.
last until the next step.
Right. Which we our little company went through the next step, so we're waiting. It's 6 months, so it's like we'll see. But now they're going synthetic PMTAs. Okay, so let's try the same thing we did, try to inundate the FDA with PMTA paperwork. What do you think is going to happen?
Well,
They're
it
just
is-
going to
Same-
shut it
same
down like they
playbook.
did the other one. I mean,
It's just shell out money, man. Instead of getting to the root, again, this community, industry, whatever you want to call it, does not learn. We keep doing the same things over and over, pissing money in the breeze, hoping for a different result instead of getting to the root, being proactive, putting on some of these commercials, counterattacking some of the BS media we see on TV, put a commercial or two together, put it out there in prime time, spend that kind of money, then we change the public optics. But
no
no,
one
we're going
wanted
to
to
keep
drop
pissing
that
away
kind
money
of
at
money.
PFTA's loopholes.
No one wanted to
And
drop that kind of money. There was fucking advocacy groups fighting over the little bit of money that was there.
Yeah.
They're
You had
dropping
the
the money.
scammers.
They're dropping the money now.
Yeah.
But they're doing it for PMTAs for another 4 to 6 months till they get
Yeah.
through the paperwork and get their MDOs. They think synthetic's going to get through. You're still going to need cohort. You're still going to need lateral. You're still going to need all these studies. You got to fund big, and there are programs out there where you can fund big to get those done. But I'm thinking there's a timeline
Yeah.
that I don't think synthetic can fit into because of its creation or inception to where the deadline is to have those studies done is going to be able to be met.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Probably, but I just say it like it is. I think it's BS. We're going to keep kicking the can and get the same result. So we're just
Are
extending
there-
our destiny.
You may know, Nick, and are there any vape companies that are that have public stock?
There's getting ready to be. I don't think there are vape companies that have public
Or a
stock.
distribution center, dispros or
No,
manufacturers?
not yet. Not true vape. Not from the vapor grassroots part, but there are some that are obviously publicly held that sell products that are vapor. I mean, they're out there.
There was a few companies swallowed up by big tobacco, so yeah, you could say that is publicly, like a publicly listed company, but not directly from the vapor industry. No, that's the difference. There was talk a while back of a couple of companies wanting to go and do IPOs. Yes. But
Juul was a public shared company, right? They were a public stock
Juul
company.
was. I don't think Juul was.
No.
Altria.
Yeah.
Altria is, but not Juul itself. No.
Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't too sure.
There was...
Not that it would make a difference, but...
Well, there was a West Coast company that put together an IPO, and they got bought out. As soon as they put the IPO together, it went straight to Reynolds. Reynolds just whacked them with a big stick and said, right, we'll buy you instead of you going public.
And that's part of their strategy, right? This is next level where as we move through this process, and we've talked about some of it tonight, enough of our people aren't thinking next level. We're still down at the let's fight. No, get to that next level and the level beyond that. Think past it. Otherwise, we're never going to survive, because just what Paul's saying, these guys they sat back for years watching us, and now they're coming in and scooping up what they can, and they have their strategy in place. They believe me, those guys the people that make those decisions and put those strategies and analytics together, they get paid a lot of money to sit back and watch us screw up every way we could, and now they're ready to pounce, and it's coming.
Yeah.
But until we get to that level and start making changes, true change, with a proactive mentality and a strategy with professionals, we're just going to be trampled again. It's just going to happen until we come up with okay, we're going to go black market, or we're going to find a loophole and play that game again.
But
We've still
even
not built our
so the problem
credibility.
is, even black market's not going to last, because
But would they even enforce it?
I'm not talking about enforcing, though.
Yeah.
Black market's not going to last simply because it's not fucking convenient anymore.
Right.
The moment it stops being convenient, people aren't going to want to do it,
Yeah.
They'll be convenient. The ones that have been watching and strategizing will be convenient, and they will win.
Yeah.
They will win over black market every day.
Well, Paul brings it up all the time. It's once they control the nicotine, it's game over. So, that is
based on pricing, they're headed that way, because pricing's crazy right now on nicotine. Paul,
they've doubled, in certain markets and certain forms of nicotine. They've doubled the price now. When you get to the exotic types of nicotine, the salts, the synthetics, the hybrids that are mixtures of synthetic and salt, synthetic and freebase, then you got triple price.
RSR, all that stuff is.
You can break it down into so many different little categories now, and I'll keep saying this until the day I die, that once they control the nicotine market, that's when it's completely game over, right?
And they're getting all their processes are that RS nicotine, the racemic, and they're the combination.
Yeah.
Where our other ones that we're using are not in most cases.
Yeah.
So their PMTAs and their approvals are going through with RS. If we're not using the same nicotine, we don't stand a chance to get approved, because the RS is being sold at the federal level. We're going to be screwed.
Okay. You've got R, you've got RS, you've got S. Okay, they're your three variants in a synthetic market. RS is what a lot of people went forward with. Okay, then you've got R isomer or racemic isomer. Then you've got S isomer, which is completely synthetic, which doesn't stem from any part of the tobacco plant whatsoever. It's a completely made molecule in a laboratory. That is the only one so far that you can change the actual formulation of it, and you can also put in what we call a tag or a signature, so you can track it from woe to go. That could be the only one that will get through, because
they can tell the
fingerprint
strand.
it. Yeah, you can fingerprint it.
Fuck.
Well, let's not to put my tinfoil hat back on and put my wings back up.
Can I borrow that hat for like 5-10 minutes?
Do we not remember the device that only registers synthetic nicotine?
Yeah.
I mean, now we're talking about, okay, so if they can control the nicotine flow, if they can control the type of nicotine that can be used, now all you need to shut down the vaping industry is use the devices that only will register that type of nicotine. You're done. Benito.
Jackpot.
Don't make me sad. Don't make me sad before we sign off.
I give it 3 years, maybe. 3 years.
Who started this topic?
Son of a bitch! Let's go back to innovation and vaping and the soda vape and the, I'm joking. Yeah. Before we go, I have one thing I want to get your guys' opinion on, but don't you feel that? Why isn't there people out there questioning Bloomberg's push? Why don't you feel, as a regular person, if I see someone pushing, no, but let me finish. As a regular person out in every day reading these articles on Facebook and seeing it in news and seeing one individual like Bloomberg pushing so hard on this one issue when there's all this other stuff going on in the world. As an individual, if I was an individual that wasn't involved in vaping, I would be like, okay, I want to look into this. Why is this guy pushing so hard to get rid of vaping? That's how I am. I don't know if everybody else is like that, but don't you find it funny that he's everywhere? He's on every fucking article.
Because you just answered it.
He's everywhere.
We got to worry about so much going on in our country, right? In other countries, but in ours, we have racism. We have the big
rights, Second Amendment.
You can do the list goes.
I mean,
no one gives a fuck about vaping anymore.
But when you're reading a vaping article, he's tied into every article that you read. So if I were someone on the outside who doesn't know what vaping is, and I see this, for me, this is the kind of person I am going to wonder, what is this guy's out game? What is his goal? Is he profiting from this? Go ahead, Tim. I'm gonna let Tim go. But turn your mic on first. That would work.
All I was going to say about Bloomberg is I don't think I agree with Matthew, is that the average person just doesn't give a shit because this whole issue doesn't affect them directly, unless they are a parent of kids and they don't want their kids to somehow be able to subvert them constantly. But the point that I want to make is with the whole Bloomberg thing, I think you would find more people probably start to question him like we question him when they have a political issue that does directly affect them. And then all of a sudden they have a reason to go, okay, the government's up to some sneaky bullshit and they're trying to take something away from me and they're not telling the truth. And I'm getting ready to lose my right because of what the government's doing to me about my issue. My issue is not vaping, but now I can relate and I can understand. And then people might start to question them. But I just think the bigger majority just is like,
yeah, but at that point, it's too late. The moment you realize, oh shit, this is going to affect me, it's already done.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's always my beef. That's how I have always been. I always wonder what someone's end game is. There's always a reason for someone backing something up, whether it's for profit or for personal reasons. I want to know why that person is putting billions, right? Let's be honest, billions of his own money.
It's always been evident, right? I mean, all that dark money, we knew where it was going and where it was coming from because we actually took the time to find it.
Yeah.
But your normal vapor or non-vapor doesn't really give a damn. because it's not in their mindset. I mean, you see these guys pass in New York in the middle of the night, passing bands. You see them in Florida attaching a vape bill to an offshore drilling bill. Nobody asks anything. They just vote, I don't want offshore drilling. They don't even give a shit about the vaping. But, those kind of things happen all the time. It's their strategy, and it's worked.
Yeah, you got to remember, as far as Bloomberg's concerned, people, and this was something that I remember we used to talk about a lot in VL. People give Bloomberg too much credit.
Yeah, they do.
Bloomberg is a philanthropist. Bloomberg is, what can I do to make more money? It doesn't matter the fucking topic. It doesn't matter the fucking industry. What can I do to make more money? There's no personal vendetta out against vaping from Bloomberg. There is no, I'm going to crush these people because I don't like it. It is, I'm going to make more money by removing this, and that's what I'm going to do. I will put this much money in, and I will get this much back.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
It's a business.
I mean, you don't have to go that far back in our history of this country to realize there are people that are out there that are like that, like the J.P. Morgans and the fucking, who else? You got the Vanderbilts. You got so many of these people that are doing the same exact thing he is doing to profit and to make it. I mean, the balls to complain about vaping and complain about the kids and all that, and then come out with his fucking own product. I mean, that doesn't fucking light up light bulbs,
you have
dude.
to remember, though, that's not a Bloomberg product.
He's just tied to it. He's open about that. He has dumped millions and millions of dollars into this product. He's open about it.
No, he funded the development of that product.
He funded it. Well, he's willing. Yeah, exactly.
In his mind, he invested.
Manipulation is key.
Yeah.
Right? Once you manipulate the media in the way you want it to play out, that's Bloomberg's end game.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be.
All right, guys, we are out of here. I want to thank Nick and the Reaper. God, you shocked me when I saw your face pop up in there. I was like, wait, how do you get in here? How do you get in here?
Well, I sent you a message. You weren't answering, so I knocked on Tim's fucking.
He knocked on his door, man. Did he have what is the thing that the Reaper carries with him? What is that thing? Yeah, did he have that with him?
No, he just said, "Hey, let me in." He just said, "Hey, let me in." It was pretty cut and dry. It was just right to the point. It was like, "Hey,
I didn't
let me
see
get
it.
on."
I would have, me, I would have dropped you in there real quick. Thank you, guys. Thank you for jumping in. Thank you, Paul, for making it. And Tim, yeah, I know, but you're busy. Don't worry about it. Too bad Allison couldn't make her second show. She had a power outage out there where she's at. But great show, guys. And thank you again for jumping in and helping us out. And we will see everybody next Wednesday. And I don't have an outro. So if you see the countdown, just go with it, guys.